Hi all, my name's Akhil from our mortgage broker. Today I'm joined by Emily Temple from ET Planning. Hi Emily, thanks for joining me.
Hi Akhil.
Emily, tell us who you are, what you do and what your firm does.
Okay, so my name's Emily Temple. I run a town planning consultancy of 9 staff. Our head office is based in Crowthorne in Berkshire, and our role is to submit planning applications for new developments for residential and commercial use. And we also offer services in terms of financial viability to reduce the burden of affordable housing and flooding sequential tests as well.
Wow, so you do a whole host of things.
Whole host.
Great. So during these lockdown periods and during these unprecedented times, could you just share what your business is doing, how you're helping clients during these sort of lockdown times at the moment, please?
Well, wonderfully, we set the company up as a truly paperless office. All of the staff have their own laptops and computer equipment, so everybody is just working from home. As I said, we've got a full complement of 9 staff right now, so really for us there's no drop in capacity at all during this time period, which is wonderful news for us. So we're very happy to sort of continue working on different development proposals that people are bringing forward during this time.
So that's good. So it's good that you've got good communication channels. You guys can work remotely and it doesn't affect your business and how you service your clients going forward. So that's amazing.
That's right. So we're making use of video conferencing, just like Zoom, this meeting, and we're also using conference calls as necessary with different clients to communicate, to understand what the briefs are. We will do site visits where those are necessary, but of course during this time just abiding by the social distancing rules.
Yeah, perfect. So with your experience and your multidisciplinary firm, what would you say developers should be doing during lockdown, and once we come out of the lockdown piece, what developers should be looking for going forward?
I think now's a really good time to be still looking for sites and working on projects. The planning system has by no means died down during this time. In fact, the government has passed a number of different legislative measures to enable the planning system to continue. So what you want to be doing is getting ahead of the curve for when things do generally sort of pick back up after this period, and be ahead of that curve and ready with your proposals. So at this stage, councils are still accepting planning applications. There's no drop in that regard. There has been some delay in determining applications, but that's more about public meetings. What the government has done is allowed councils to either move to a system of delegated powers where officers can determine applications that don't have to go to a planning committee meeting, or those committee meetings can now be done virtually via a Zoom call to enable decisions to still get made. So applications absolutely can still be made, and appeals as well at this time. But certainly if there's new projects and proposals coming forward, now would be a great time to be still working and preparing those ready to go in. Particularly, I'm conscious that we're coming into the right season for ecology surveys, particularly bat surveys. That really starts from end of April, beginning of May. So, really now is a really good time to still be working on preparing projects for those reasons.
Okay, so 2 things I'll take away from that is councils are still reviewing and underwriting those applications that you're putting in on behalf of your clients, which is really, really good. And are you finding the success rate still at the levels that you saw prior to COVID-19?
Yes, absolutely. I think what I have just experienced, as I mentioned, is just a delay in the determination of applications. And that's really been whilst the different councils, the government have been working out what to do with the public meetings that can't take place anymore. And now that they have passed this sort of legislation to either allow for delegated decisions or virtual meetings, I'm seeing a lot of councils are now moving forward later this month with hosting their first virtual meetings. Some councils have already done it, so which is really encouraging to see.
Okay, good. So what I want to say is, and what I want to ask you is, why should clients be contacting you, and what sort of services are you able to deliver on their behalf when it comes to ground up developments or conversions of a property from, I don't know, from an office to residential? why should they be contacting you? And so give us your top tips on what you do and how you counter and battle for the clients, and overall find the solution.
So, I mean, as a consultancy service, our role is to help project manage the preparation of a proposal. So we can put you in touch with all sorts of other consultants that you might need, as I just mentioned, sort of ecologists, things like that, to help prepare proposals that need planning permission. We can also provide strategic advice and strategy on the best way of trying to get a planning consent. In some instances, that might be going through the prior approval process. You sort of mentioned kind of an office to residential change of use. So sometimes it's not about full planning, it's about taking advantage of other mechanisms within the planning system. And of course, the time limits for things like appeals, again, won't change. So if there's a refusal that has been issued that actually you've got a right of appeal, then we need to take advantage of that now whilst we're still within the time frame to do so.
That's good. Okay, and hopefully we come out of COVID-19 in next coming days and weeks rather than months and years. Where do you see the market moving going forward? Where are you hoping with local councils relax a lot of the legislations, a lot of the red tape? Do you see PD enforcement being a bit more relaxed? And just share, give us a couple of seconds on your views.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think the government definitely has made some very short-term measures to help relax enforcement measures and permitted development rights, but that's really about, for example, you've probably seen that restaurants can now operate as takeaways. So that's been a change that the government's done through permitted development rights to allow those operations to still continue and to still make money. There is a potential change coming forward in PD rights for consultation, which is for the upward extension of properties. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that sort of materialises and what the government are going to do about that. But lots of councils are still under the obligation to progress with their local plans. Those are still coming forward. And of course, the government's objective to significantly boost the supply of housing is still not changing. So absolutely, I'm expecting there to still be a pick-up and thrust of development proposals coming forward.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Is there anything else you want to leave us with? Any top tips or any hints, or why should people be contacting you?
I think just keep out there looking for the deals, looking for the sites, looking for the opportunities, because sometimes now when the market is perhaps a bit slower or where some people are struggling to find some finance, then you know, this is where you and I come in being able to help those clients still move forward, to have the opportunity to do so and to take sort of advantage of this situation really where that's possible.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I speak to a lot of our clients and they're saying, well, how can I look for property? And I said, well, estate agents' doors are not open. However, the phones are still working, emails are still open, you can still access email. So put out those comments, put out the feelers, let them know what you're interested in what sort of properties you're looking for, right? So.
Absolutely. And one of our services is that we do appraise sites. You know, in principle, is it possible to do development, or where it is possible, what are the things you need to be looking out for and what's the right sort of strategy to take? So that, you know, that sort of service we can continue to provide where there is a site that has been found by a client that might be suitable.
Perfect. Thank you, Emily, for joining us today.
You're welcome. Good to speak with you.
No, pleasure. I will leave your contact details in the review comment sections below. For anybody that wants to contact Emily, it is etplanning.co.uk. So please do refer to Emily. She can help in many disciplinaries in planning and consultation. And I look forward to hearing from you again. Thank you, Emily.
That's great. Thanks, Akhil.
Cheers.